I haven't been here, I think, since Ragnarok, so it's kind of 4 or 5 years ago. And I love coming to Comic-Con. I remember very fondly, with such vivid memories, the first time, which was 11, 12 years ago. And the crowd's incredible, and to come here with something that also, an iconic piece of IP and material, has an inbuilt fan base, and to see the enthusiasm and excitement for it was wonderful, mate. And there was such a fantastic response we had then, so I'm excited for people to see the film. Lorenzo Bonaventura had reached out to me and suggested, or offered the character to me, and I was really nervous for all the obvious reasons. What Peter Cullen had done with the characters become so iconic and incredible. But I was thankful that it wasn't about mimicking that. It was an opportunity to do something different, and this was not the all-knowing, powerful, godlike figure that Optimus Prime is, and that we've grown to love. This was the youthful version before he had it all figured out, and there was a sort of a cockiness and an enthusiasm and a sense of humor, and there's a different sort of a spontaneity to the character, much more sort of youthful, lively version. And I think myself and all the cast really lent into that. So there's a great sense of fun to it, And it being an origin story, we get to see something very different about all the characters and these two individuals who begin as friends and end up as enemies. It's quite a sort of complex but fun thing to play with. It's always nerve-wracking sort of stepping onto that stage, and when you're met with such positive energy and a true fan base that know the characters better than you do, it's equally exciting and nerve-wracking, but a lot of fun, and stoked they appreciated what we'd shown them and were having as much fun with it as we were. It was cool. Oh, absolutely. The cinema going experience, is hard to replicate. And for myself, I reckon some of my happiest memories were going to the cinemas with my brothers and my parents as a kid, or groups of mates. And this film certainly warrants that and deserves that. It's big, it's loud, it's fun. It's got a great sense of humor, but there's this heart at the center of it too. So I'm sure people will love it.
There's just this sense of positivity about Comic-Con, because it's a place where there are hundreds of thousands of people, and every single one of them wants to be here. That's the thing. And so I always get that real fun energy about being here. I'm a huge fan from way back in the day, the original cartoon back in '84, from '84 to '87. I was a fan then, and I've been a fan ever since. And so to be a part of this franchise and to be part of the lore of this franchise is really an honor, an absolute honor. And I love being able to play Bumblebee, who's one of the most beloved characters in the stories. Yeah. Oh, I think people should see it in theaters, in IMAX, in 3D, in 4DX, all at the same time. There's so much, it's so dynamic that I think people should absolutely, this is not something you want to watch on your phone, folks. It's not something when you look at on your computer screen. You definitely want to see this. You want all the expanse and you want to feel the sense of the world that they're in, because no one's ever seen, you get to see Cybertron, what it's like, how it looks, what their lives are like. You want to see that on a big screen.
Comic-Con is the best. It's just, it's truly, I feel like my inner nerd is embraced and loved. I'm around my fellow, fans. It's really, really cool, but it's weird to be on this side of it. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to participate in Comic-Con, but to be here because I'm a part of Comic-Con is something else. I could tell you all the reasons, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? I don't think it really hit me that they wanted me to play such an iconic character like Megatron. I also just realized, I was like, oh man, here I am being able to play one of the most notable villains of all time, but to actually play him before he becomes Megatron was the biggest catch for me. To really find out how he became who he is. I'm always fascinated with villains because I'm like, villains don't ever start that way. Villains are made, you know what I mean? And so I always wanted to really get down to the nit and grit of what made Megatron how he is. And so I also wanted to make sure that I gave him enough heart too, because like I hate when they already make villains like you should hate them, you should be against them. It's like, no, I want people to really feel for him and really like understand him and relate to him. And that was just it was the easiest choice to make, to just do that, because like the way that it's written by Josh, our director, you really get to the core of who Megatron is, like where he started. This is a movie made for theaters. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, it's action-packed, it's Transformers, it's the origin, it's CGI, it's the way you've never seen it before. And, like, we're having a blast. Like, you will come in and have a really great time.
It's insane. I don't know how else to describe it. The response in Hall H was amazing. It's better than I thought it could be. It really is. There's so much love for this franchise and for these characters. And I knew that going into it. And I'm so thrilled with the response. This cast is a dream cast. All of them are they're so talented. I'm stating the obvious right now. They're so great. They're so funny. They're so the way to improv is amazing. Chris, Brian Tyree, Keegan, Scarlett, like everybody was able to bring a piece of themselves to the role, which is what, as a director, that's what you're dying for. Not only should you see it in theaters, the 3D for this movie, I don't think I've told anybody this, the 3D for this movie is insane. And I'm not saying, well, go see it because it's 3D. It immerses you even more into the film.
No one's ever touched on, including in the TV show. And so you're really getting to see who Optimus was before he became Optimus and who Megatron was before he became Megatron. And so I think that's really interesting because we have such a clear picture of those two characters, but then when you meet them when they're younger and they're still becoming what they are, it really affects how you see them. It's got tremendous scale. The visuals are stunning. And our composer did an unbelievable score that just elevates the theatrical experience.